Great. Well, we're going to go to Adam. Adam, I met you a couple of weeks ago, and we hit it off straight away. And the great thing is that you're a very open person, but there's something very special about you that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
You are what they call the London patient.
Yeah.
Could you explain us what the London patient is?
The London patient is the second man to be cured of HIV. And that is an honor and privilege to be there.
The second man cured of HIV.
It's a very humble place to be.
How did that happen?
And it's a long story. And it happened in 2015 when I was diagnosed terminally ill. And my only chance of survival I had a bone marrow transplant.
Okay, well, you were diagnosed with
cancer. I was cancer. First of all, I'm a cancer survivor. It's important to tell people, first of all, that. And in 2015, I was...
and by that time, you already had HIV, right?
Yes, I had HIV since 2003. So it's been a long time. And it was it's terrifying to be there, but at the same time, I had this amazing opportunity by my doctors to able to achieve something amazing, to be cured of my cancer and my HIV. That it was like boom.
What happened? I mean, that means. Wow. I mean, let's go back to that moment. I mean, you get a call. You're saying, "Well, we're going to do a bone marrow transplant."
Yeah.
You're like, "Wow, finally, something's going to do something for my cancer."
For my cancer,
and then they said,
and the doctor said, "Oh, I have got another news for you." And he said, "I think we may can cure your HIV." And I was like, and it took a few seconds for me to understand. I was like rolling.
I think I need a whole week.
No, I think it took a while. I mean, I remember, as I say, I was on a double-decker bus in the UK, in London, and I remember hanging up the call and smiling and saying, I won the lottery. That's what the first thing I said to myself, oh, wow, because I never thought in my lifetime I will see HIV cure.
Were you scared that that might not have happened? That something would go wrong? I
think my doctors give me kind of expectation. We have to have a control expectations about it. So I think my doctors have been very careful to tell me we want to try and we see if that happen, because our late Timothy Ray Brown with the Berlin patient, that's what I call the London patient.
So the Berlin patient was the first person who was cured of HIV, right?
Unfortunately, he had died, and we would replicate his treatment to me.
But his was a flu.
He was a flu.
But you
from beginning to end, replicate his treatment.
Yeah, so it was a treatment that you got.
Yeah.
You must have felt like Christmas Day when that happened.
Yeah, I said I won the lottery. I think, but for me, it's very important to have responsibility to the science, because at the same time, I didn't want to fail. You know, people say to me, why you fail? So I was afraid to fail to the community, because I want to be cured not only for me, for our community. So I was on pressure, but I felt like I didn't want to fail on that.
And then the procedure happened?
Yes.
And when was the moment that you realized that you were actually cured? I mean, it's still
unbelievable.
It's still unbelievable for me to say that out loud, that somebody's been cured of HIV. Wow.
It took a few years. It took time. I think by 2017, I had my transplant in 2016. By 2017, when I decided to take medication, because that was a big step. And I did something very important to me. Like on my birthday, I decided to stop medication. And I say, what else can I give to myself? Important, and people can relate to me in the future, to stop HIV medication on my birthday. So I did that in 2017. And the first time I remember with the doctors, we have the HIV test. We got negative. We both have big smile on our face, like, wow, let's get not too excited because we might not be cured. So, and then it happened 6 months, 12 months, and 18 months. They say, well, Adam, now your journey will begin now. Let's talk about what names we want to use. UK patient, the British patient. Because we want to go again with the Berlin patient.
How did your environment react to that?
I think, as I say, I still the same. I still Adam. I think that my environment has changed. The perception of people around me had changed. People might treat me different, thinking I look different or feel different. I'm still the same Adam. I'm still the same guy. When I have HIV, when I have cancer, I'm still the same guy.
Yeah, but I mean, there must also be people who are saying, "Are you sure that you're cured?"
Yeah, you get some of these people who unfortunately say, "Are you sure you're cured?" And I say, "Well, I'm pretty sure." I have a lot of people around the world try to find out isn't sure. So I volunteer to a lot of research around the world, and I done here in the Netherlands not so long ago, giving some, try to help because it's important to help the community.
Because that's what you told me. That was something that touched me a lot. Is that you celebrate 2 birthdays?
Yes, I think that really people really don't know. When you have a transplant, the day you are in the UK, especially, I don't know if it related to anywhere in the world, maybe in here in Holland, but in the UK, when you have a transplant, the day you're going to have a transplant, they give you a car. It has a big 0 on it, and they say, "You nurse and doctor, here you are. Your life starts today. It's your day 0." And that it was a powerful moment for me because to realize my life started again. So now I have 2 birthdays.
So how old are you now?
I'm 6 years old.
6 years old. Just like your neighbor.
So there you go.
Was it a risky operation?
It was very risky. It was very intense. I think people contact me, like you ask me, I say, I will not recommend to anybody. First of all, you have to have cancer to have this.
Yeah.
And I don't wish to anybody like that. However, some people in our community have ask, "Can I have it?" And say, "No, you cannot, because you have to have cancer first to be able to have it." So,
yeah, I mean, that's weird, right? You get all these questions from people thinking that you might be able to cure them.
Yes.
What's the weirdest question you got?
Can I think the more great question. I think in how my bloody fluids feel or taste like different to other. And I was like, oh my God.
They want to taste your bodily fluids.
I can imagine which kind of fluids they mean, actually.
And so like, oh my God, what is that question? And I was like, oh. And it was the psyche. And then I realized when I kind of shared note with Timothy Ray Brown, the Berlin patient, he told me, well, I have these questions too. So
because you have only right now only 2 people in the world, because after Timothy unfortunately died, there was another one.
It's Mark, the Dusseldorf patient.
The Dusseldorf patient. There are 2 of you right now.
Yes.
So
and I hope more people can be part of our community. I hope more people can, this unique family. I hope it's more people.
But you only can relate to him, right?
Yes.
So you became very good friends, I suspect.
Yeah, it was an instant connection. I think now I can see, I did that with Timothy. I mean, when he talked to me, he was kind of advising me, telling me what it was important, and guiding me around. And for the first time, he was able to relate to somebody, because I think he was lonely in that journey. And now I'm able to do to Mark, the Dusseldorf patient, I'm able to tell him my experience and advice.
You can pay it forward.
Yes.
And
blueprint.
Yeah. You have a new lease on life.
Yeah.
I know that you do a lot for the community. But you actually, that was so funny, that story. He told me we went to a hospital, you came there, and there was this one little nurse standing in the back, all giddy and happy that you were there because you were donating your blood.
Yeah, I think I give a big surprise today. I think I went to the Rotterdam University, the hospital, and I had all the research, HIV research for the cure, and I had all this young energy, because you can feel the energy on the crowd, on these scientists. And I said, thank you for having me today, and I want to do something wonderful for you, to donate blood. And you can see, as I say, that emotion they have, and because that's what I'm here. That's what I'm the London patient. I want to give hope. And if I can help in any way, I want to give back to our community.
Is that what you do in every country? Go there and donate your blood?
No, I wish I could, but it's not, because our laws in many countries we are not allowed to donate because we are HIV. It's important. People don't realize I'm still part of our HIV community. I always will be part of our HIV community, no matter what.
Do you get people who don't think that you are
Yes,
part
I
of the
had a lot of people say, no, you're not part of us anymore. I said, no, I'm still part of the HIV community. I will always be an HIV man. No, I'm cured, but I always will be a part of the HIV community.
Are there days that you think that you might get it back, or is it...
Yeah, it's always scared, because I know how I have, again, responsibility to science, and I think I feel kind of the importance to do that. So I feel scared at times.
What are your future goals? What would you like to do for your personal and your life journey?
Yeah, Adam and the London patient is one person, and it's just me. And what I want for the future is to create a London Patient Foundation to raise awareness only about cancer, about HIV, and mental health. And that is why I call myself Ambassador of Hope, because I want to give hope not only to our HIV community, to our cancer community, and because after all, we all suffer some part of the life for mental health, and we don't talk about a lot of that. So I think that's what I call myself Ambassador of Hope. That's the future for me.
Wow. That's a wonderful future. I mean, your story is very inspiring. Do you realize that you are kind of a little miracle here?
Yeah, sometimes you kind of sit down and think, wow, and almost it's only 2 people in the world, and we are 7 billion people, and I'm the only 2. Sometimes I pinch myself and think, oh, this is real. And
I am awake. This is not a dream.
I'm still not dreaming. No, I still, yeah. So when I hear people ask me things, but I have positive and negative as well response. And the positive, I'm very overwhelming. I can give you one example which meant a lot to me. I have somebody who, when I came out again, they said to me, I'm so happy to hear you cure, because my relative, the last thing he said to me in the deathbed, it was, I want to please find a cure of HIV. And that lady said to me, I'm so glad I was able in my lifetime to see that actually happens. And that empowered me to continue my journey. So.
It was such an inspiring story. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And next.